slimming a waistcoat or taking in the sides has few ways to do. So normally when you take in, if it's a lot, we had to take in from the side seams. These are the side seams, just on the side. But if it's a little bit, couple of centimeters, you can always take it on from the center seam. In this scenario, we're just gonna take it in sorry, from the center seam, that is this seam. How it's done is, first you gotta unpick from the bottom here, this seam, you just unpick. That gives you the access to go inside and work out how much you need to take in. So this is an example of how it's done. So this is the inside seam, center back seam. So once you access there, you just mark it. The previous seam was here, and I have marked here like this. This is actually following the shape of the body. The backbone just is running along the backbone. So that way we can take it in without destroying the balance, and it's going to finish nicely. So you just mark it here, stitch first, then only you undo the back seam. One thing you never do is undo the seam first before you're stitching. It's really important to leave the seam old stitch here, mark this and do the new stitch. Once this is done and you're happy with the stitch and make sure it's good, and then you go and unpick this stitch, so that way make life so much easier. The moment you go and undo the stitch first before you sew, everything is going to go wobbly, and then you just got to control it. But this way, this is already controlled, and you're only stitching before you unpick. That's going to make life so much easier. So then once you stitch the actual fabric, you just got to stitch the lining to match that, because lining is also big. So how I do is, first I will just mark the lining where I need to stitch. I always leave about 2 millimeters more on the lining. That's really important. If the lining is too tight, it's going to pull. If the lining is a bit too loose, it doesn't matter, it works very well. So make sure at least 2 millimeters bigger, and then you stitch the lining. The lining stitch you don't need to unpick because it's soft. You can fold and stitch inside. See, we haven't unpicked the inside stitch here, but we've stitched it. And then the next step is you have to press. So when the seam is like this, you take it to the iron and flat press the seam nicely like that, and it has to sit flat all the way, so it's just gonna give a good finish. And then what you do is you turn it inside out and just do a hand stitch with the needle and the thread along this line, and without catching the outside going through and through, you just keep stitching from here and all the way, and you catch the middle seam inside to inside, so it doesn't fall, open up, just slightly like this. So once you do that, you finish up all the way here, close all the open bits and close the seam, and that's fine. So that's how you take in a waistcoat to make it more slimmer. And this is from the side seam, right back the center, sorry, it's not the side seam, right back center back seam, and you close it up.